As a result of the Civil Rights Movement and other events in the 60s, the Freedom of Religion Act passed, which made it legal for Native Americans to practice their spiritual beliefs and speak their language openly. As well, the Indian Education Act and American Indian Self-Determination Act were passed in the 70s, which finally placed decision-making about our children's education back in the hands of parents. Tribal schools sprang up emphasizing language and culture. Despite more than 200 years of oppression, today Anishinaabe-Moan is being taught in both public and tribal schools. It is a difficult process to learn a language if you have only spoken and heard English. Anishinaabe support each other in promoting language preservation and share successful strategies in regional language conferences. Anishinaabe-Moan Tech in Sault Ste. Marie strategically brings together Canadian and U.S. Anishinaabe to share methods, conduct workshops, network, and renew their commitment to the reestablishment of Ojibwe-Moan as their first language.
The Ojibwe Language Society is made up of students at the University of Minnesota. We provide a community service. The first thing that happens is the first 10-15 minutes people arrive with food. It's a potluck. And we tease and joke that our motto is we'll teach for food. And but it's also a traditional thing to do that. Sometimes we get visiting elders and we ask them to do the opening prayer. We have a standard speech that everybody uses all the way around the table. They talk about everything that's personal in their life, and as they come back every week, they add to the speech and the proficiency develops. After that, we break up into little groups, and there's a lot more one-on-one, and we do little mini lessons, 7 to 10 minute lessons. And there's about 4 language teachers that show up pretty regular at the language table. Now they have places in Onigama and Leech Lake, in Lac-Courte-Oreille and Fond du Lac, and now here they're going to be starting up in Canada also. We run language camps. In the summertime we do language retreats.
Immersion camps are available in the summer throughout the Great Lakes region in Canada. Students spend either whole or half days listening and speaking only Anishinaabe-Moan. More and more students are experiencing success in learning the language.
Well, what I found is that singing in Ojibwe actually awakens something in the kids. The Ojibwe language is very musical. It's based in music. For example, the word baka akwe, the word for chicken. I mean, that's music that comes from the chicken.
A unique set of comic books that emphasize Ojibwe language and culture have been developed by the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. This approach appeals to young people while providing important education.
I've always wanted to do a comic book and kind of give them a history of their tribe and get them to think about what is being lost or what was taken away. And there's a lot of great response from the students in different schools. It's always good to see to have the students react in a positive manner.
Two-way instructional television systems provide Anishinaabe-Moan to schools that have no teachers. Distance learning technology is becoming common for language programs. Language classes in tribal and community colleges can reach secondary and elementary schools as well.
I think it's always good to consider what you're using to teach, what different mediums or different tools, computers, CD-ROMs, but we should not forget the traditional aspect of what our language is, that it's still a spiritual language, and that language survives spoken. And the technology is never going to replace that experience of going out with an elder to the rice bed, to knocking rice.
I'm confident that the group of people who are working on it now, the elders who are there all the time, and those soon-to-be elders, and those adults and families, and the couples who are working hard, and the little kids who have this interest. How do you say this? Can you teach me how to speak in Ojibwe? I think we're going to be able to do it. We have to be able to do it. Really, there's no choice. We're going to do it.
In the time of the seventh fire, the prophet also said, a young and new people shall rise, and to retrace the steps to retrieve those things that were abandoned, our language, our traditional spiritual teachings. I believe what we are doing here is a part of it. The new people are here. The seventh fire generation is here.